he goes. It's time for the plot to thicken! Look at my braid! Look at my sweet braid! That I fought so hard to have.
Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Solas, agent of Fen Harel.
Da-da-da! It's kind of obvious at this point, but you know.
Solas is an agent of Fen Harel.
Did you not know? We thought you were his ally. Solas tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades.
Still dying.
Hannah Hayden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solas will not outlive you.
I still care. That is that's a big Qunari. So here you choose, like, do you hate Solas' guts or do you want to save him? Or, let me see. Yep, I romanced him, so.
That's why Solas left. He's been helping us fight the Qunari all this time. We have to save him.
Oh shit. Everybody except Cole hated that. Oh, the life of a simp is hard.
He's invulnerable. Use your mark.
Oh, I can't. It has to recharge. Guys, I can't do it. Ah! Whew. I forgot about that part. Oof. All right. It's time. I believe the rest of this is just cut. Yep, it's all cutscene. Let's watch the lore.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
I hear him.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solas.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari were trying to kill you. I wanted to get here first.
I know. They sought an agent of Fen Harel. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fen'Harel.
I was Solas first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. And now you know. What is the old Baelish curse? May the Dread Wolf take you?
Man. Oh god, you could break it off with it. Sorry. But yeah, he is Fen'Harel.
And so he did.
I did not. I would not lay with you under false pretenses.
But you lied to me. I loved you. Did you really think I wouldn't have understood?
Ir Abelas, Fanan.
Tell Abelas. If you care, give me the truth.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves. Even themselves.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
The Evanurus were Elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Shit, dude. What kind of elf am I?
Let me help you, Solas.
I cannot do that to you, Vanan.
But you would do it to yourself? I cannot bear to think of you alone.
I walk the Dinan Shiral. There is only death on this journey. I would not have you see what I become. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus.
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Divinta Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
I never thought of you as someone who would do that, Solas.
Thank you. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
Whatever your reasons, we couldn't have defeated Corypheus without you.
Your doubts are misplaced. Everything you accomplished, you earned.
What happened to...
You control the Illuvians now.
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Sharal? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
This just became a whole ass movie. I tell you, this shit's really good.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
I know, Venan. And we are running out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
Solas. Varlat vir Suladin.
I wish it could, Venan. My love. I will never forget you.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Okay, that was weird.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Qunari.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place. The Inquisition did not cause this threat.
And my
We
hair's
informed the summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, you would not be alive to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization,
That's
not
not
a
a glitch.
glorified mercenary band.
She cut off her arm.
Inquisitor.
She cut off her arm so it wouldn't kill her. I'm gonna be angry to the bitter end.
You all know what this is? A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. It wasn't a formally authorized treaty that saved Ferelden's people. It wasn't careful diplomacy that ended your inane civil war. It was never about the organization. It was about people doing what was necessary. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a world to save. Again. Effective immediately, the Inquisition is disbanded.
Whew. All my friends. Now, if you excuse me, I have shit to unfuck. I wish they would just keep the hair I modded. Fucking damn it. Oh, Vera gave her another book. Actually, that's important in a second. Why is it so fuzzy? Why is it so fuzzy? I think this is a glitch. Like, they're not just... There we go. It's supposed to be focused. Her weekly smut delivery. Actually, he gave her the Inquisitor's story in book form. You're gonna love it in the credits. It's gonna be great. She actually reads excerpts from it. Whew, it's so much more tragic when you romance Solas. In short order, the Inquisition was disbanded. Some were relieved to see the unpredictable organization dismantled. I can barely hear you over the music, that's fine. Getting lit. Others preferred to remember the Inquisition's good works and the many lives that it saved. They didn't voice this part, so I'm gonna have to read it. Those who had served returned to their former lives, knowing they had stopped a great evil from destroying the world. And hoping that the peace for which they had fought remained once the Inquisition was gone. It's a little slow with these title cards. This is where all of your decisions come into play. With the Dragon's Breath disrupted, and any hope of a swift victory dashed, the Qunari retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvalon, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter. I'm really sorry I don't have a cool accent for this part. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Victoria on important matters. Cassandra served for several years. Having that RBF. While she often disagreed with Liliana's policies, the former right and left hands of the Divine shared a mutual respect and worked well together. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterhorn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. part changes depending on what you encourage her to do. All of this is affected by your choices at this point. Yeah, I think every bit of this is affected by your choices. Oh shit, did I not read that? Whoops. The end of the Inquisition, as it had been sent shockwaves through the College of Enchanters, Madame de Fer ably played on the mage's fears. Her followers united to build a new circle, with Vivienne as its Grand Enchanter, in direct competition with the college. And that's why it would have been scary if she was divine. Her followers... No, sorry. What the circle lacked in numbers, they made up for in political connections. Soon they were a force to be reckoned with. She's kind of a bitch either way. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the South, vying for power. I hope you can hear me. The music is getting louder. After the exalted council, Liliana devoted herself fully to the Sunburst throne and her dream of reshaping the Chantry. Within a year, she removed restrictions surrounding Chantry priesthood, allowing men and women of all races to be initiated and ordained. This decree was followed swiftly by her decision to return to the Canticle of Chartan, to the canonical chant, a move that divided Andrastians deeply. A rebellion to renounce her and return the Chantry to its former state arose, beginning first in Orlais, then spreading to other parts of Thedas. As quickly as it began, the rebellion faltered. Just waiting. While most agreed that the rebellion collapsed due to infighting, some whispered that the Divine herself engineered its failure. She is still a spy master at heart. The rebellion fractured into a number of separate cells, some of which limped on for several months before disappearing into obscurity. With the Inquisition disbanded, Sarah returned to the singular and plural role of Red Jenny. There she goes. Because nobility and grammar could both still eat it. Many noted how Sarah's methods had changed after seeing the Inquisitor stand for everyone. Those are some ugly masks, just gonna say it. This Red Jenny was more focused, tactical, and some dared say effective. Perish the thought. She and her network could also be counted on to act in the interests of the supposedly retired Inquisitor. Sarah remained a formidable ally of allies, intent on proving that the powerful weren't, and that it was friends who mattered overall. With frequent visits to her whittle, of course. Yeah, if you don't hook up with Sarah, she hooks up with, Dagna, the Arcanist. It's fucking adorable. Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. In the UK, that's flipping someone off. When the knobs piss about with your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Yeah, that's their version of flipping someone off. Varric took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawke, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. The character in the forefront is actually from, I think, the second or Origins. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. I agree with that comment. But the Inquisition disbanded. The Bull's charges returned to taking jobs throughout Orlais and Ferelden. This is a much sadder drawing on the other end. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of Venatori forces, the Iron Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. And there's Crab. Oh, look at the puppy! After the Inquisition disbanded, Cullen retired from active services. Look how big he is! Look how strong that pupper is! He's the best pupper. He returned to Ferelden, establishing a sanctuary for former Templars on land Divine Victoria granted him. Look at him! Sorry. With his help, many Templars shed their lyrium addiction, and those with whose minds were too far gone spent their last days in comfort. It's because she talked him out of taking lyrium, and he promised that, should his friends from the old Inquisition ever need him, his blade would be ready. I swear all of this will be worth it. I promise you. Philly, you're gonna love the credits. This isn't even the credits. Dorian returned to Deventer to take his father's place in the Magisterium, and grew some great-looking hair. No. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magister Nevaris Talani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. It's getting really loud again. Those fighting by Magister Pavus' side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seem to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight, because we are besties. He is my best friend. Tom Rainier was shown mercy when none was deserved, and set on a path of redemption. This gift so compassionately given needed to be shared. Freed from his obligations to the Inquisition, Rainier traveled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By showing faith in those who had none, Rainier lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. Man, there's a lot. But the Inquisition disbanded. Josephine made her farewells and returned to Antiva and her family. It's Blackwall. His hands are hairy. Blackwall is a hairy man. Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Montiliers were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with the Montilier crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbors. Soon, Ravani pirate captains with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Well, that's some shit. If you choose the other route where you just apart from Josephine's sister Yvette, nearly eloping with a dashing pirate prince on one occasion, Lady Montilier took the development in stride. If you take the other route where you just send Liliana, then that House of Repose actually like works for her. Cole returned to the Fade, saying that there was more pain coming, and that he knew where compassion would be most needed. He promised that his friends in the Inquisition would remember him, and that where the hurt was greatest, he would help. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Thedas. Oh boy. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fen Harel wondered just how large the Dreadwolf's forces were. And what the ancient elven rebel had planned. I wish I had a more foreboding voice, but I don't. Llewellyn sometimes came awake from dreams in which her lover watched her sadly from across an endless distance. Ugh, I'm sad again. If they were more than simple dreams, she could not say, for every time she reached for him, he vanished into nothing. Still she searched and dreamed and waited for a way to change the Dreadwolf's heart. Alright. Oh shit! What's happening? Final cutscene. I have no arm. Why am I holding it up?
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solas knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
Teventer Imperium.